Hi guys, welcome to My Guy Reviews. I'm My Guy Monkey, and I'm joined here by my special guest, My Guy Brig. Hello.
Hello, and welcome to
Hello.
the podcast.
Yes, and welcome to you, my guest.
Thank you. Yes, it's actually good being a guest because I feel a little bit of pressure when I'm the host. One, I have to deliver the intro. Two, I have to come up with the podcast topic, and do a lot of heavy lifting. So yeah, it's good to take a back seat.
Well, bad news today. We're going to kind of be both the guests because I've only seen maybe 3 movies of this person's.
Okay.
But I have a. So we're going to have a bit of a different plan. Usually, one comes in blind, one comes in researching everything, and probably have seen every movie. But as I've only seen a select few, I thought we'd go through their actual list of all the things they've been in, which is, when it comes to movies and series, it's 57 things that they've been in. Wow. And we'll just rush through them and see if either of us saw the movie and remember the person in the movie. Because some of them, they'll have very minor parts.
Okay.
Some of them, and then hopefully we'll get through all these things nice and quickly. And come up with some that we want to talk about and that we've seen. I think you've seen more of this person than I have, so you've already got a few clues so far.
So it's a person. They've been on TV. They've been in films. Okay, I don't know yet. Okay,
you don't know yet. Okay,
no.
Okay. What else can I say? They're a comedian.
Steve Carell?
No. Good guess. I mean, it might be a good guess. I don't know. I don't know names.
Jim Carrey?
No. More recent comedian, I'd say. I've only really seen this person in the last
Seth Rogen?
few years in actual films, although they have been in series since I think 2000, maybe even before. Nope, not Seth Rogen. This is someone that I think you consider to be a good comedian. You've seen some funny things with this person in it.
Chris Tucker.
No, still not there. And recently you watched one of their movies. Recently you watched one of their movies.
Oh, sorry, actually, finished.
Expecting them to be funny, but not finding them so funny. So
Adam Sandler?
No, why would you ever expect Adam Sandler to be funny?
He used to be in stand-up. Some of his stand-up is quite funny. Okay.
True. This person has done collaborative comedy more. They're I think I would think so from what I know. They've been on maybe some collaborative sort of freestyle comedy shows.
Okay.
Or particular for sure. Anyway.
Improv.
Yes, more like improv.
Okay.
They've done mostly comedy, but they've done the last couple of movies have been a bit more serious. No idea yet?
No, I still don't. No.
Okay, this will be. I'll just have to break it then because what about they're famous for being on Saturday Night Live. They're one of the people from the Saturday Night Live crew.
Okay, so you've said no to Tina Fey. You said no to Steve Carell. Amy Schumer.
No.
She wasn't on there, was there? Jim Carrey started off there, I think.
Okay.
Comedians.
More recent, perhaps.
More recent.
Recently,
Melissa McCarthy.
With Muppets, yes.
Yes, Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm excited for this. I think she's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, we'll get to each individual film, but I've seen her in things that I really like. Actually, I always like the films, but yeah, it depends how much improv is involved. So you've seen more movies than me, I'm sure, because you're quite a fan. You're a fan of hers, I think.
I'm definitely a fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen her in Mike and Molly as well.
Excellent. So we'll be able to talk about all these movies that you've seen.
That's right.
You can tell me the plot, and you can tell me if they're good, and
Okay.
I will just go through a list of them. Okay. So she's been in a lot of little things as well. So, Jenny McCarthy Show. Do we know it?
Never seen it, but I know who Jenny McCarthy is. She's been married to Jim Carrey.
Let's skip on. Excellent. Good info. Or missed the shorts. Okay, Go. She was in briefly, I think.
Was she the film with Katie Holmes?
Yeah, she was in there somewhere. Do you remember
Wow.
her?
I've seen that film. I think the tagline is "A weekend wasted is never a wasted weekend."
Yes.
I've seen the film. I enjoyed that film. It's based on our rating. This is I would say, back in the day, you should go to the cinema to watch it. I liked it. I think maybe it's one of those when you were younger kind of films. But yeah, it was good. I don't remember.
Can you remember Melissa McCarthy?
No, I haven't seen that film in years.
We're going to try to fit this into an hour, so I'm sure we can
see it somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Drowning Mona. Ever heard of it?
I've not even heard of that one, no.
Excellent. DC, the series. She was in that, apparently.
Okay.
I haven't seen the series. No, okay. The Kid.
With Bruce Willis.
Right.
Rubbish film. There you go. That's my review.
Excellent. Don't remember in it. Charlie's Angels?
Yes, I remember Charlie's Angels. The reboot with Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and if it's the first one, it had Bill Murray. If it's the second one,
okay.
Both anyway.
It was the 2000 one that she was in.
Yeah, so it's the first one. It wasn't Full Throttle.
Well.
I would say that was a bad film as well. But I don't remember her. I've only seen that film once.
She played Doris in that. No idea who she was. I'm going to have to go through these films someday and find her. So.
And that film was directed by McG, one of the worst directors ever. So
it was quite a horrendous film. Okay, next is Pumpkin. Ever heard of it? Ever seen her in it?
No.
Okay. The Third Wheel.
No, I've never heard of that either.
I've heard of that. I can't remember it though. I don't remember her either. White Oleander?
No, I've not heard of
that one. The Life of David Gale. We're going to get to ones that she are in later on, just to assure them.
Life of David Gale. Is that the one with Kevin Spacey? Is that different one? I was thinking.
It could be. I haven't researched.
I'll say I can't remember that film.
Both going in half blind for this one, as I say. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I've seen the TV show. Yeah, that's
Excellent.
from the maker of Jerry Seinfeld, the TV show. Right. Larry David. Yeah. He plays just the most obnoxious, annoying person ever. And he's got a TV show which I think it's season 10 or something. It's been going. It's quite funny as well. I don't remember which episode because I've seen them quite a while back.
Excellent. So you probably would have seen her, but you wouldn't.
But that's I would recommend that TV show if anyone hasn't seen it.
Excellent. Great. She played a saleswoman in the episode The Surrogate. So check that one out if you're going back to watch him. Okay, Kim Possible. Wow.
Wow, the cartoon show.
The cartoon, yeah.
Wow.
She was in that.
Never seen it. Never heard of it.
I've watched Kim Possible. It's a good old TV cartoon series. She played DN Army. I've no idea. I can't remember that character. It's been a long time. Okay. The Nines. Now, this is the first one that I think she's actually properly cast in. So have you seen The Nines?
The Nines, plural. So this isn't the Joel Schumacher film, is it?
Let me, if you want, I can check, because as I say,
you could check.
So I'm going to have a look at this one. I am cheating this week. It's directed by John August, writer.
Then never heard of this one.
Ryan Reynolds is in this one, though. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Right.
No.
A troubled actor, television showrunner, and an acclaimed video game designer find their lives intertwining. That sounds quite interesting. I'm going to have to check that one out. The Nines.
Okay.
We're finally...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen it, but let's give that a recommendation. I would say watch it on a streaming service.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm going to leave you with that, with the recommendations. But yeah. Okay, so Cook Off. She's been on that. That was a film.
Yeah, wasn't that more of like a? Isn't that quite recent? Is that quite? Maybe okay.
Right,
maybe something else.
2007 now, so we're getting in there.
Okay, no. So that's quite a while back. Oh, okay. I think that film got shelved for a while, but yeah. Okay. I can't remember it.
We can't remember it. Excellent. I'm liking this format. We're getting there. Gilmore Girls. She was in.
Yes. Gilmore Girls. Now I've never ever seen this TV show fully.
Right.
I've seen it on in the background in the home I live in. My roommates have it on. So I've seen it. I've seen her in it as well. And she has quite a recurring role because Gilmore Girls is like a mum and a daughter. and they've got some sort of relationship. Anyway, this TV show. It's quite. It is. There are some funny bits in it, and she's quite good in it.
Yeah,
I do remember seeing her.
Part in this one, then, yeah.
Yeah, she did. She was recurring. Now I don't know if she's ever come back for the revival stuff, but I do know from the older episodes I've seen her in.
Yeah,
so it's on streaming. I would recommend watching it.
Excellent. We've got a recommend on streaming, but obviously it's only on streaming, so you can't recommend cinema.
It's only available on Netflix. Yes.
Okay. I'm skipping the shorts, by the way. Next one up, Just Add Water. She was apparently in. Okay. Again, I think this is a minor part one. Nope. Okay, next one, Pretty Ugly People.
Oh, I thought you said Ugly Betty. Pretty
Ugly Betty.
I've not seen that.
It's just more of a major part, I'm not sure though. Samantha Who, that's a series. She was
the one with Christina Applegate. Okay.
Right.
I did not know she was in that.
Yep, she played Dana in quite a few episodes, about 40 episodes. Oh, no, 35 episodes, so she's in it a bit.
Pretty much the whole thing.
2007 to 2009, that series.
Wow. Yeah.
Rita Rocks, the TV series.
No.
As Mindy Boone. I think she was in. Oh, she's only in 5 episodes of that, so I don't know how long that one is. Private Practice.
No, I've not seen that or heard of that. Must be some hospital drama.
Yeah, it sounds like it, doesn't it? She's only in one episode anyway, so
maybe she's the victim.
Maybe she gets very bloody. That could be quite exciting. Okay, The Backup Plan.
Yes, I've seen that. That's the one with Jennifer Lopez, right?
Okay, it could well be.
Okay, this was a while back.
You have a much better memory than me from movies and names. Jennifer Lopez. Alex O'Loughlin. I don't know. Michaela Watkins. Was that Michelle Watkins?
I don't know. I've seen the poster. That's what I mean by I've seen it.
You've seen it.
I've never seen the film. I've just seen the poster.
Excellent. But don't worry, this is exactly how I was hoping it would go. So we can keep going, and we're eventually going to get up to the bigger movies. So Life as We Know It. She was in that one.
Okay. No, I haven't.
As Dee Dee. I don't know if that was a major or minor part again. This one, I definitely saw trailers for the next one, and I wanted to see it, and you may well have seen it. So the next one, 2011, Bridesmaids.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yes.
I think that's Paul Feig's film as well.
Right.
But it was the time when Hangover had just come out. So Todd Phillips' Hangover series was big. Bridesmaids came out, but people just thought it was about similar to Hangover. It's all about the bachelor's party, but it's not. This one kind of has that, but it's got loads more bits to it as well. And it's more about the wedding and the pre-wedding and stuff, and kind of being the friends and all that.
It looked really good from the outside. I don't think I ever saw it, but it's something I wanted to see, which is going to be a lot of her movies. Yeah,
and so Melissa McCarthy in this doesn't have the biggest role, but she's one of the bridesmaids. And she's there for the bachelor, and there's a really funny line that she says about Fight Club, which I thought was hilarious when I saw this film.
Oh, wicked!
And I this is one of those really this is where kind of like Hollywood always thought films have to be a certain way. They're made for a certain gender. They're made for a certain kind of ethnicity and kind of everything. But this is a female-led film. Huge box office, and it's really funny as well. Really, really funny. If you could go back in time, watch this in the cinema based on our rating system. So we have the 4-star rate. We say 4-star. We have the 4 rating system. One is go out your way, buy a ticket, watch it in the cinema. The second one is buy it on DVD or on video on demand. So you're still contributing to it. The next one is streaming service because you already own it, so there's no point spending money. And the last is obviously forget about it. But this one is definitely top tier. This is amazing. Really, really fun.
Yeah. I'd agree from the trailers. Like, I really wanted to watch this movie, but obviously not enough to kick my ass into gear.
I'm sure it's on a streaming service right now. You could watch it.
Yeah, I will watch it. Because you can see what I've watched. That's why I couldn't watch the movies this week, because I would have given away the topic, and you had to come in blind.
Yes,
So
that's right.
Because of that, I will be watching it this week then probably. Because I did
Brilliant.
want to watch the movie, and I like sort of movies that are based around women as well. I quite like chick flicks. Not that is the only genre, but so that's why I was keen to watch this one at the time. But I'm sad that I didn't. So we've got a recommendation.
Yes, and
I'll give
I
this
forget
recommendation.
who the main female lead is, but her and Melissa McCarthy come together in another film, which you'll talk about later on, which again
Exactly,
is
one
really,
that I've seen maybe.
which is
So we'll
again
see.
funny. So let's see.
Yeah, okay, so next one. This is 40.
Yes, I've seen this,
Yes,
and
you
I
have.
do remember her. She's the teacher
Okay.
or the principal,
Yeah, she's not a
something
major.
along the. No, she got a very small role in this. It stars the incredibly handsome and never aging Paul Rudd, and Jed Apatow's wife is in the film. And there's a bit where they're talking to the principal, and and they're starring effing and jeffing. It's funny, and she's in it, Melissa McCarthy. Her role in this is quite funny. But this is the film that I'll always remember because they say the line. He says it to his daughter, or the mum says it to the daughter. I can't remember. Anyway, they say, "Snitches get stitches." Now that's something that I live by now. So whenever I see someone, I say that, and then my spin-off of that is snitches end up in ditches. So you have your two. You either get stitches or you're in a ditch. So yeah,
Okay.
no, it wasn't.
That's
It
good.
wasn't. It's from the guy who made like 40-Year-Old Virgin, and I think this was kind of his end of that trilogy. And it wasn't as funny as the other ones, but it was still good. But yeah, 40-Year-Old Virgin was hilarious. So this one I say watch on a streaming service because it's nowhere near as funny as the others, but it's still a good watch.
Excellent. Okay. Since we're talking about stitches get itches, I've got a third one for you, which my workmate colleague uses because he sometimes gets things mixed up. So listen, so he says stitches get itches. No, snitches get itches, I think.
Brilliant.
Or even stitches get itches. But it's quite funny. It sounds more like people get a plague if they're snitched. So.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that one a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. I think she's major in this one. This is Identity Thief.
I've seen this one. This stars
2013.
her
Excellent.
alongside Jason Bateman.
Okay,
she steals his identity.
That's it. Yeah. So
it's also got T.I., the rapper.
Excellent. Okay. Is it the Bill Murray one? Oh no, you're right. It's the Jason Bateman. That's the one.
That's right. Yeah. So should I tell you the story? So
if you like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, cool.
So for this one, this is her first major kind of mainstream role, solo kind of person, I think. Yeah. But yeah, so it's really funny. She plays a woman who scams people. Basically, she phones up Jason Bateman. She steals his identity by getting social security information off of him. Then she'd make credit cards, apply for that, and then she would just ring up massive debt against him. And so what he does, he then decides he's going to hunt her down and he's going to find her and then bring her back because his work have flagged him up as being a financial risk and he can't be a financial director unless he resolves this. So I think it was a hilarious film.
Get cancelled and stuff.
There's a moment in the film where for some reason she thinks she can outrun Jason Bateman and it's just hilarious.
I've seen that bit because it's in the trailer.
Yeah. There's so many great bits. There's the guy from Modern Family in this as well who plays Cam. Okay. There's also the girl from The Office who makes a cameo. She's also in Bridesmaids and she plays the waitress. And there's lots and lots of bits in this that I thought was really good. So this, for me, is a watch in the cinema. Yeah. Pay your money, go out your way. Really funny film.
Yeah, it looks quite good in the it looked good in the trailers. So, yeah, I'd agree. I want to see it as well. And how did she rip a man off then? Because obviously they've.
Oh, his name's Sandy. His name's Sandy. Yes, that's it.
Sandy. Because that puzzled me at first. I was like, oh, okay, his name is Sandy, a normal female name, perhaps. Yes, it can be a man's name. Okay, so next one. If you did you get that review?
I did. Yeah, I gave it the watching the cinema,
wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yes. So next one, The Hangover Part 3. She was in.
Oh, was she? See, I've seen Hangover 1, loved it.
Yeah.
Hangover 2 was pretty much the same film. And Hangover 3 is the worst in the franchise. They've gone for a completely different kind of story. They try and steal some money. They give it to Senior Chan, but all sorts of random stuff. And I don't remember her in the film. Maybe because I watched it once and I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah,
see,
possibly. Her name's Cassie in the thing. If you remember Cassie. Oh.
Maybe she was flirting with Zach Grafananekas, whatever his name is. With him. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so next one, The Heat.
Yes, I've seen The Heat.
She's
Sandra Bullock.
In this one. Okay, Sandra Bullock, yeah.
Melissa McCarthy.
And Melissa McCarthy.
They are both police officers.
You can tell the story. Yeah, they are police officers. Yeah.
One officer is straight and by the book, Sandra Bullock. The other one works outside the law and works in her own mysterious way. And they are just, it's really, really funny. This film is, again, I think this is Paul Feig, and it's just such a funny film from start to finish. There's so many good gags. Their chemistry, these two have amazing chemistry. They bounce off each other so well. And it's actually got a lot of heart to it, because there's the bit right at the end with the cat and their relationship growing together as well and stuff. Yeah, it's very good. They're just kind of solving a crime which happens together, and it's really good.
Sounds kind of similar to the Muppets one that you dissed last week.
No, it's nothing like the Muppets one.
You know, there's two plots,
so this is an
R-rated. They get closer by the end.
That's right. So this is an R-rated film. That's an R-rated. They're effing and jeffing, but this one's funny, right? And the story is better.
Yeah, and I can see why you would look forward to the funnies from Melissa McCarthy.
Exactly.
She has been in some good movies. Yeah. Okay, so
did you give it a rate? Watch in the cinema. Really good film. I'd love to see a sequel to this one.
Okay.
But I don't know how you do it, because once you've set the blueprint up and you have a good film, the sequels tend to be, do you want to rehash it or do you do something completely different? And normally it doesn't work. So I know I want something which I know won't work.
Yeah.
I loved it. The first one.
I know what you mean. Yeah. It sounds like you found a new 5-star for your 4-star rating. No, watching cinema, but you want a sequel.
Oh yes, that's. I want sequels to loads of films, even if I didn't enjoy them.
Exactly.
Like Alita, I'd like to see a sequel to Alita. I didn't really enjoy it.
Oh, maybe just add a 0.5 if you want to.
No, it'd be 4.1.
0.1. Okay. Okay. So the next one is Tammy. I don't know about this one.
I've seen this one.
Okay. What's it about then?
Melissa McCarthy's. It's kind of like she's trying to find her mum.
Okay.
And it's kind of like I don't want to say coming of age, but it's a bit like that. It's not as funny. No, there are some funny bits in it, but there was a big actress, either serious. Susan Sarandon or someone's in this as well,
right?
Alongside her, I can't remember. But the trailer has this really funny bit where she's trying to steal from a fast food restaurant, which was really funny. It's an okay film, but because you come off of Heat and you come off of Identity Thief, I think this one kind of doesn't hold up as well. So
she's more central to this one as well.
Ever
before, so
because the others there's like a buddy that she's worked with. So this was a little bit just only because you've seen the prior movies and you've seen how good she is and she can improv. She's really funny, and then she takes on semi-dramedy kind of role, and so it didn't quite work. This one I'd say watch on your streaming service.
Okay, at least you recommend watching it at all, so that's good.
Oh yeah. This isn't a terrible film. It's still worth the watch.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't really know anything about that one, and the next one as well. I remember the trailer for actually this one. So the next one is Saint Vincent, 2014.
Robert Pattinson's in this, is that right? Or not? I've never seen this film. I've never seen a poster.
Oh, you haven't seen this one? Okay, I think this is the one. Yeah, you remember I said Bill Murray earlier. This is the one with Bill Murray. Okay, so I remember the trailer to this one, and I did want to watch it, but didn't get around to it. Bill Murray moves into Melissa McCarthy's street. Okay. I can't remember his character in the trailer, but I think he's a bit of a straight man, a bit of a miserable guy or something like that. A bit out there in terms of sort of built outside of society, a bit crazy in some ways.
Yeah.
And he ends up looking after her kid a lot because basically I don't know if she's busy working or maybe something like that. So her
Okay.
kid's coming home from, I guess maybe it's St. Vincent, the school. Um, and yeah, basically it's around that. So he ends up looking after the kid. She's not a major part in it, but she's definitely one of the major three in it. It's Bill Murray, Melissa McCarthy, and Naomi Watts.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's really a Bill Murray centerpiece. But I think it's cool that she's worked alongside Bill Murray. That alone makes it interesting to me.
I mean, a lot of people worked alongside Bill Murray. Like
Yeah, I know.
Charlie's Angels, remember?
Yeah, well,
Just
that
talked
was
about that earlier.
rubbish. I think.
Yeah, so she's already worked with him
I meant
before.
something good.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'd say watch that. I think it looks worth watching. So in your system, I don't know where it's. I'd say it's somewhere between stream and cinema, maybe. So maybe 2 or 3 stars.
Okay.
Okay, so next one, right, we're missing a load of shorts that she did here for Tammy. So the next one is 2015, and it's finally one that I've seen, and it is Spy.
I've never seen this film.
You've not seen Spy?
No.
Oh wow! At last, one that I've seen and you haven't. That's wicked. Okay, so Spy is Melissa McCarthy being an agent. Let's see if I can remember because I have.
It's because she doesn't start off as an agent. They think of her as a kind of
That's it.
the lady who helps out in the place.
Yeah, she's kind of like the reception lady.
Yeah,
like
and she's like an analyst, right? Because she's the one who's talking to
yeah.
Jude Law when he's on his missions.
That's it. She helps them out. Yeah.
And Jason Statham keeps putting her down, but then they've got to go on a mission, and they bring her in because she doesn't look like a normal spy.
And and they don't want her recognised.
Yeah, I've seen this film.
You have seen it.
I have, yeah. We talked about this when we talked about Jason Statham last week.
Yeah, I know.
I love this film.
Sure yeah, I love this film too. It's a brilliant use of Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah,
that's the centre role.
Definitely. This is definitely by Paul Feig. She is hilarious in this film. She does get some action beats as well, which is good. So you don't just see kind of like the main female lead who's in this. She was the female lead in Bridesmaids as well. So they've worked together before. Plus they've got the English actress as well in this. So they've kind of put like different. And I think when she came on to, so it's like different female leads. They look very different. All three of them do. But it's so funny. And you've got this. Is it? I can't remember the actor's name, but he's all quite. He's very inappropriate the way he talks, and he talks to Melissa McCarthy all the way through the film, and then he turns out to be like a. No, he turns out to be like an agent at the end.
Okay, yeah.
For French or he's French or something, I can't remember. But yeah, Jason Statham is the funniest in this film.
Yes,
like the funniest he's ever been. He's funny anyway. If he wants to turn on comedy, he can. But this one, he is so good.
Yeah,
he's got so many great lines.
Jason Statham. I mean, it's kind of the precursor to the Hobbs and Shaw movie.
Yes, this is his audition, right?
It's the same role.
This is where him and Jude Law both auditioned to become a character in Fast and Furious. But he was so good that they put him in Fast and Furious. Jude Law, you're good, but you're not that good.
See, I definitely give this a cinema rating.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So that's great. They're going to move on to the next one, The Boss, in 2016.
I've seen that.
You have seen it? Good, I haven't.
I
did want to watch it, but I didn't.
So it stars Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Bell. Yeah. Kristen Bell is her kind of PA or kind of person who she works with, and she's always a terrible boss. And what they do is they fire her from her role, and then she's got literally no one to live with, no one to stay with, so she stays with Kristen Bell and her daughter. Yeah, and then they have this they form a proper non-working relationship, and she starts to also sell cookies and stuff as well.
Brownies,
with the little kids, brownies. That's it. And that whole scene where the kids have a spoiler alert, a fight is hilarious, but the lead up to it's really good. It's not there's a lot of people, and I think this film didn't perform as well as the previous film, but there's still lots of funny bits in this as well. And I think
it focuses a lot on the brownies and the children, so
there's more to it than I think. That's just because that's a big scene.
More of a family movie as well.
Not this one, no, hell no. I think there's a lot of swearing and stuff still in it. It's
that's all right.
But I think her best roles are when she's there and she's maybe with a straight person or someone who's funny, and I think that really plays off. And I think her and Kristen Bell did this really well.
Okay,
her in Spy did that really well, like Identity Thief and Heat as well. I like this. This is one I would say watch on a VOD. I wouldn't say go out your way in the cinema. It's still funny. It's worth kind of like contributing towards its kind of box.
Isn't that a disease?
Yes, VOD. It is. That a lot of films get. They go straight to VOD.
VOD. Is that like video?
Video on demand.
On demand. Okay, so streaming again.
Yes.
Okay. You're confusing me there with that. I wasn't sure. So VOD, you mean on a streaming service again? Okay, so not video. Okay.
No, because the difference between Netflix, because you pay for that monthly, the money goes to Netflix and they distribute it out. A VOD or renting it via kind of whatever it is, the money goes directly. Yeah. Some of it goes directly to the film. More of it does. That's what I mean.
Okay, so is that above streaming service in your rating?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's number the start 3 stars. Good.
That's right. Yeah, you're 3 stars. Right. Yes.
Okay, so the next one is a TV series that she was up to the year 2016. Is Mike and Molly? I think you mentioned this one already.
I did. Yeah. This one's really funny because they play this couple. He's like a postman, and it's really funny because I think she can, because they're quite short episodes as well, like 21 minutes. She can kind of like she can spew out her lines, but I think where she really shines is where she's working with other people, and I think she can bring in people, or she can tell jokes and stuff, and that really worked. And I think this is why the show lasted so long.
Considering she was becoming 2016. So.
Yeah, considering she was becoming a big movie star as well at the same time. And the show still went on, shows her work ethic as well. So
definitely. Yeah,
it's a show well worth watching. Definitely, it's really funny.
Excellent. It looks like a major one of hers. So I'm interested.
Oh yeah, she's the lead. She plays Molly.
Excellent. Yeah,
you can only be Mike or Molly. Yeah.
Just the 2 people, right? The whole way through.
No, there's a couple of others, but they're the main 2.
Any major ones that you were pleased to see in the series? Like
no.
People that arrived into it. No,
I've not seen the whole the whole series. I've seen quite a few episodes, like season 1 and a few in the latter seasons.
Okay. So recommend this one.
Oh yeah, definitely recommend it.
In the cinema, even though
you can
only watch
even though you can only watch it on streaming or whatever.
You could write to your cinema and say, please screen all 127 episodes of Mike and Molly in a row. Okay, so next one, she was uncredited in this one, so I'm guessing she wasn't a major role. She was apparently in Central Intelligence.
Yes, she was. Yeah, she plays a love interest for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah. Okay.
So Central Intelligence, the movie happens. There's it's got Dwayne, it's got Kevin Hart. It's a really funny film, but she comes in at the end because she's this person that Dwayne always loved, or I wouldn't say loved, but the one that kind of got away from him. And then she appears at the end. Yeah, it's a good film, and she has a very minor role, but it's
very
still
minor
funny.
role. Yes.
So cinema, and also it's got this Jumpman song at the start. If that helps, if that's going to sell anything. If anyone likes Drake and Future, they're on that track, and that's at the start of the film. So,
it's a good recommendation. And how is Melissa in this one? Considering how minor she is, I guess she's just
it's just still funny. I think it's just like a couple of minutes, if that. Yeah, maybe a minute. So the whole thing.
You don't get to see much of it then. Really.
No, and it is towards the end of the film. It's also got Aaron Paul as well from Breaking Bad.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next one, which is at last another one that I've seen, not just the trailer. I've actually seen the movie, so you can probably guess straight away which one it is. It's been a bit controversial in its reception, and it is Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh yes, that's right.
Answer the call, depending on what you call it.
Yes,
it's just a Ghostbusters is basically the real title. Yeah. So, what do you think of it, or what is it about? This is one
What's the story?
This is one we can actually talk about. We have. Yeah. What's the story? Blah 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 blah. I haven't got the tune this week, so okay. Yeah, this is one. This is a major one. Since I've actually seen it, yeah, we can talk about it. We have actually talked about it before. We did a full review of this.
We did, yeah, when it first came out.
When it came out, so shows our longevity because that was over 3 years ago now.
Wow, yeah, that's been a while.
Yeah. So we're still around. Still got our subscriber, or
with an S,
capital S. No, honestly, thank you guys for listening, sticking with us. But yeah, bit of controversies. A lot of people didn't like it because it didn't live up to Ghostbusters 1 and 2, they felt, and replacing the Ghostbusters with all female cast rubbed some people up the wrong way.
Yeah,
I loved it. I thought it was really funny. Not just funny, actually, I found it really a great spectacle. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think the problem that people had was they thought the first one is great, and the first one is, and the second one isn't that good. I think people need to realize the second one was bad.
It was quite bad, really.
Yeah, when it came out, and even if you watch it today, it's still bad. This one's actually better than the second one, and isn't a patch on the first one. And I think that's the comparison you got to put it at. The 4 female leads, they're all funny, incredible actresses who've been on Saturday Night Live. Leslie Jones and the other lady, I can't remember, but she does a great impression of, like, what's his name? The singer, Justin Bieber. She's really funny in all of her stuff. She does a great Hillary as well. She's really funny. And then you have the 2 main female leads, Melissa McCarthy, and I forget who the other one was. But again, she's a huge actress.
Kate McKinnon.
But who's the main female lead with Melissa McCarthy? Forget her name. She was also in Bridesmaids. She's the main lead in that.
Yeah, Bess Roos. I don't know. Why isn't it? I don't know.
Should be at the top, straight after Melissa McCarthy. Or
you would think so, wouldn't he? I don't know. Kristen Wiig.
That's it, Kristen Wiig. Yeah. She's funny anyway.
I think she's the best in the. Obviously, she's the centerpiece really of the movie.
I think this film is good, and then you have the final third, which I think was a bit terrible, which is where I think the film I think they had a really good story. They had lots of good gags. The villain was terrible in this film.
Yeah, that's the only.
It was really bad. Like they like having Marshmallow
Scooby-Doo. He was a Scooby-Doo
villain,
wasn't he? Villain at the end. Yeah, it felt like that.
Like Marshmallow Man and Zool and all of that in the first one was really good, and I think that's where it kind of falls off for me. I mean, Chris Hemsworth. I mean, he's got it all right, because that man is so funny in this as well. The 4 female leads are good. They're strong actresses as well. They've got some good roles, but for me, it's like 2/3 are really good. And then the villain and the final third, where it's the whole CGI battle in New York, I didn't really. And then the dance sequence at the end, all that stuff with Hemsworth, I didn't like all that.
I still enjoyed it. I thought it was just so much. It was all about fun, I think, and that's why I loved it. I watched it 2 or 3 times in the cinema.
Wow.
Because I just found it so such good entertainment. It was a joy, just all the color, and I love the bit when they've got all the big balloon things coming through the streets. You remember them? Giant balloons.
Yes, yeah. They've got callbacks to the old films.
Or the giant ghosts that they were. Yeah.
Yeah, Slimers in there. I think also what's maybe frustrated people is the 3 main people from the original franchise who are still alive. They all had really weird, random cameos in this.
Yes, they did. Yes.
And it felt like it may have been better if they could have just had these 3. I mean, I don't know. You have the 4 main female leads. They find a new ghost.
Yeah.
They either consult those guys and say, "Oh, we're too old for this. Look, but this is what we did. This is an old proton pack. Use it." And it doesn't quite work, or something doesn't go wrong. Yeah. And then the girls go off and they resolve those issues. The tech that McKenna makes, they then push the franchise forward. It's almost kind of like, therefore you've been
sequel.
Yeah, and you've handed over the baton in a way because
Yeah.
you've acknowledged the original cast, and they're
Yeah.
handing it over to the new guys, or they appear at the end to help out. With
Yeah.
the final big bad with
To
their
join in
old with the
universes.
old
Yeah.
proton pack. So you've got the old and the new together somehow.
Yeah.
Other
I
than
think
that, I
you're
mean,
right.
because
Yeah.
Bill Murray plays this really weird
He's
ghost
the
psychiatrist or some. I'm not a
he's the
doctor or
hater, isn't
something.
he?
Yeah, and then
He's he's the pessimist or whatever.
and Leslie Jones's uncle is the guy who they got the hearse car from.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so they're in the universe, but for some reason they've got random roles.
Yeah, it's
It's
because it's not a sequel. It's like it's in between. It's like it's a reboot slash remake slash sort of homage slash just complete. It's kind of got some sort of semblance of sequel in there as well. But like you say, it can't attach because they've got completely different roles.
yeah,
So, yeah,
you just need a good kind of handover so
yeah,
people understand. We're not taking away from your original; it's still there. This is just a
yeah.
reboot.
And with the
It's not a true sequel.
yeah, and with the one other film that I have seen coming up, it's going to come up. This other aspect is that I actually really enjoyed this film for its spectacle in the cinema, but I've seen it a few times in in the living room, so to speak, since, and I'm starting to get a little bit tired of it because of some of the ad hoc comedy. It's starting to feel a bit tired after I've watched it maybe 10 times. So yeah,
Is
that might
that
come up.
yeah?
I think
That's just
that's what's gone.
yeah. I think I know what you mean because you've got four incredible actresses who are great at
Yeah,
improv, who
yeah,
can deliver really funny, and then you're just telling all four of them to be funny,
yes.
and
Just
they
be
did,
funny, and then
and I think it works for about an hour or so into the film, and then because you're into the
yeah,
final third and you're into the thing, and the
yeah.
villain who's really weak, you kind of then start to it kind of grates at you. If you
Yeah.
have a good ending, like
For me,
Avengers,
it took 5 showings or so for it to
to
grate on.
grate at you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
then
mean,
it
like
started to grate.
the very first Avengers film is everyone will say it's a great film. They loved it when it came out, but realistically, it was just mind control. And when someone got hit on the head, they would be back to normal again. So that premise is absolutely rubbish, and it's just so silly. But because the things going on around it and everything that kind of held the film together in general was good, you forgive the fact that all she has to do is hit Hawkeye on the head and he's back to normal. And they've got this fail safe, which is literally just like a button inside the thing, and all the
Yeah.
Chitauri tech and everything falls to the ground. You
Mm.
forgive all that kind of rubbish because the whole film as a whole, just and especially the ending
It's funny.
spectacle was amazing. Yeah.
Mm.
And I
Okay,
think
so we're
if
going to do one.
this had a better
Oh,
ending, then yeah,
yeah,
I would have forgiven a lot of it.
I would say watch this in the cinema still.
I would say yeah.
Just don't watch it 10 times. It starts to grate. You'll
This is
start to notice the bad ad hoc comedy.
It's still a good
Or not.
funny film, and Chris Hemsworth
It's
is
not that
hilarious. He is so
yeah,
funny.
it's lovely to see him in there, yeah. Not to say we love Chris Hemsworth more than all the others, but
No, I mean that
he's a
female
great role in
cast
this
is amazing.
because
Yeah.
he just plays the dummy receptionist, and it is very good role. Okay, so watching the cinema, would you say watching the cinema?
This is a VOD. Pay money for it,
VOD.
but don't go out your way.
Okay. Or VOD, yeah. Don't confuse me again. Okay, so next one, up 2016, she was in Conan, the
Was
TV
she?
series.
Okay.
Yes,
Conan's
in
like
one
the barbarian.
episode.
Okay.
Yes, Conan. I'm
Animated.
guessing the Barbarian. I think it was a live action.
Okay. Never seen that.
No. Moving on. Gilmore Girls, A Year in the Life. She was in one
So she
episode.
is in the reunion stuff in the.
She's in
wow.
at least one episode of the miniseries.
Oh,
So
good.
plays Suki St. James. I don't know who that is. You might know. No. Okay.
No,
So
I never watched the show. I know of it.
okay.
It's played in my house.
Okay.
Where
So moving on.
it's playing where I
next
live.
one on the list is Saturday Night Live, the TV series. So I'm guessing
Yeah,
you've seen that?
well, Saturday Night Live is on every Saturday.
Yeah.
She'd had many episodes where she's been on there,
Yeah.
and then whenever she's promoting stuff, she'll be back on there as well doing an episode. Yeah, she does really good stand-up. She does loads of good sketches on there. If you Google it, go to YouTube, you'll see best of. There's she's just hilarious in that. Yeah, very good.
Okay, cool. So that's a recommendation. But moving on to Life of the Party.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay. What's the story?
So this one, her
She's
and
the
her
star of this one, right?
She is, yeah. Her and her husband drop off her daughter to college or university, whatever they call it in the US. And as they're leaving, he says he wants to have a divorce. He wants to get divorced because he's having an affair with someone.
Yeah.
And it turns out that she decides that she should go back to school to get her education and kind of start her life over. So she, goes back to school with her daughter and attends the school in there. And then, she's kind of, her daughter's very book smart and very kind of, they're a very certain style of friends and stuff that she's got around her.
Yeah.
And she's more kind of like the outgoing kind of like, let's have parties and let's do these things.
Yeah,
these are things you need to do.
She's the life
as
of the
the
party.
title says. Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny. It's not her traditional vehicle funny, but it's like it's good. It's better than Tammy, but it's not as good as The Boss. I think. Thinking back to it, it was still good, but it wasn't as good as The Boss.
Okay. Well, would you recommend it?
Yes, I'd still recommend it. Watch it on your streaming service.
On your streaming service, that's a 2-star.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite VOD quality.
No.
Slightly below. Okay. The next one is a TV series, 2017 to 2018. Nobodies. Have you seen this one?
No, I haven't. Nobody's seen it.
Nobody's seen it. Good recommendation. Well, she's in 8 episodes of that. I don't know if it's got more than that.
Wow.
But we'll move swiftly on because neither of us have seen it. So, we're finally at the very reason that I decided to talk about this one this week.
I can't believe you watched this.
Because you watched this movie and
I did. I shit all over it.
Let's say what's the title then, and you tell me what your opinion was. The title.
Do you want to tell me the title? Tell me what film it is?
You know what it is. So
is it Happy?
Yes.
Happy.
It's the Happytime Murders.
Murders. Yes. So there's a TV show called the Happytime.
Forgot the name already. It's so
terrible. Yeah. There's a show called Happytime, which is a comedy show with a bunch of Muppets and Elizabeth Banks. That was a big show back in the day.
Oh, was
within
it
this world?
Show?
Within its world, yeah. And in this current world, Muppets and humans live together. I wouldn't say they live together in perfect harmony, but they live together.
Yeah.
And it shows you at the start, there's kind of conflict. People do and don't like the Muppets. It's from Jim Henson's alternative group, and it's from the kind of adulty area, and you can tell from the start, there's effing and jeffing and stuff, and it's an R-rated film, and it's Muppets, and it's Muppets, humans. And there's a bit at the start. Well, Happytime Murders, the Happytime team, or the people who are in the film, are all being killed one by one, and they need to find out who's doing the murders. And it turns out that there's a new syndication of the TV show about to happen, and whoever's remaining actors still alive will get the split of the money. So if there's 6 actors and only 4 of them are alive, they split the money. If one of them's alive, they keep all the money, etc. If they all die, it goes to a spouse or something. So that's the story in essence. And murders
the story
are happening.
From your perspective. Okay. And you didn't like this one?
I did not like this. I even told you don't watch it.
Because you said to me...
I stand by my recommendation.
This is how I knew you were a big Melissa McCarthy fan, because you said
she's really
you were
good,
looking forward to seeing her.
Yes. And the premise has everything right going for it. You're going to have foul-mouthed Muppets. You're going to have Melissa McCarthy. They're going to solve a crime. So it's like a buddy cop comedy film where they go over the place doing whatever. All the basic ingredients for what should be a good film. A funny film with maybe some twists and turns or whatever you want it to have, but a good film. And it wasn't.
Okay.
It was terrible.
And it wasn't. Melissa McCarthy let you down?
No. The story...
She was still good? Was she still
the dialogue, I think... She can't do anything more than what they give her, right? So she
True,
did the best with what she was given, and
So you said don't watch it
I don't
before.
blame her. I don't blame so much the supporting cast. I mean, if someone tells you to deliver these lines and you do, and if you watch the end of the film, they're all doing stuff and they're just laughing and they think it's hilarious. And even when you watch the outtakes, you're like, this isn't funny.
Yeah.
But you guys find it funny.
On some level. It might not surprise you that I completely disagree with your opinion on this movie. I thought it was good. I found the only thing wrong with this movie. First of all, you have to describe it right. Okay, so it's not supposed to be a full-on comedy, which is what I think maybe you're expecting. It's more of a dark comedy, like with it's more of a film noir sort of detective, like the gritty detective story, but with Muppets. It's supposed to be kind of dark, and of course it's got the humor that's kind of
there's no
purposely
humor.
adult.
That's my problem, right?
But it's
you said
just
dark
kind of
humor.
It's not really humor.
I don't
It's kind of
remember
just
even
like
smiling.
silly. No, you're right. It's not that kind of comedy though. It's like dark comedy. You're not supposed to be laughing and having fun. It's kind of. But I think the thing that let it down was their use of Melissa McCarthy, and I agree it's not her fault. But I think they didn't. I think they wrote a good script, but then they didn't write a script for her, and they just said be funny and poked her, and it didn't work. But apart from that, I think I found it a good movie, and some of the bits she's actually okay. She does okay as a character in some of the movie. But yeah, from her first arrival, she's not great at she doesn't come off really as the comedy doesn't work from her, I don't think. And I think they maybe thought that adding her into the mix would bring a more lively comedy, but it just didn't add up. But later on in the movie as well, I think she starts to get a bit more character. Her and the Muppet main man start to connect a bit more, and you start to feel a bit more for a character. But yeah, I thought I wouldn't say I love this movie, but I would say watch it on streaming service compared to your don't watch it at all.
Avoid it at all costs. I think we've described the entire film. No, we do not recommend this to anyone.
I have. I've already done it, and I've already spoken to someone else, my colleague, that liked it. So, yeah. And I was like, my buddy hates this.
Dude absolutely hates it. Yeah. This is. See, I get what you mean about the crime noir. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going for a dark, gritty film, and you have the odd joke in it, and that's your premise, that's fine. But you're advertising this, and the way you make this film, and even the outtakes at the end, make you think that they were going for some sort of comedy angle to it, and that's where it didn't work. And therefore, for me, it just, I mean, it was fun watching Muppets explode and fluff come out, but it's not funny. It wasn't like I was like, ha ha, look, that guy had a shotgun to his head.
The octopus milking the cows.
You know what? What was funny is when Team America World Police had a Muppet sex scene, or they had the random vomiting. They did everything. And it has a message to it, and it was very relevant at the time. Yeah. And it did all of that, and it was still a funny film. And it was Muppets.
I agree. It's not really funny. The jokes are kind of like they're not really funny ha comedy. It's just kind of that's ridiculous. That's good. That's fine. That's fine for me. And the story carries on. I wouldn't say it's laugh out loud in any way.
No,
but as a little bit of silliness goes in a sort of straight noir sort of feeling thing where they're sort of representing this world where maybe they're showing sort of racism, but in terms of Muppets. I think it works okay. And the story comes along of what actually, obviously, you described the story as the Happytime TV show, but that's more like what comes out of his investigations, and it's more like an investigating detective noir thing. Yeah. So I'm a watch it on streaming service, and you are
avoid. Forget about it.
So you know who to trust. Go and watch it.
Do not waste your time on this one. I even told you last week, don't watch it.
Yes.
It's so bad.
And then I did it, and I was pleasantly surprised. So, I love watching movies when someone says don't watch it at all, because you get to see through your own angle whether if it's as bad as you think it is.
It is.
And I
It's
don't
even
think
worse.
it's bad.
Now that you've re-described it to me, it just confirms to me everything that you said is wrong and the film is rubbish.
No, it hasn't. You agreed with me that if you see it through what I've described it as, you can maybe appreciate it. I think.
I don't think
If you go to see it as how you have described it, were expecting, then you'll be very, very disappointed.
There's no redeeming factors about this film. There isn't anything. See, certain terrible films you could watch and you'd be like, you know what? I can see they've all made an effort here, and the story was good, or this one person was really good in this film, and the rest of the film was terrible, or the reason why it fell apart is because of this pothole. No, there's nothing good.
I feel like everything was scripted in the right way to be this dark, this sort of basically a sort of parody of the noir, which I think it works. Not laugh out loud funny, sarcastic parody of film noir, and it only falls down for me when Melissa McCarthy starts trying to, or probably not trying to because they've asked her to, but starts to sort of bounce around with comedy, and literally because it goes like so off script towards maybe what you were expecting. The actual Muppet star guy is literally saying in the movie like, okay, shut up now, and I get the feeling that was not just within the script. It's not working for the movie yet. Tone it down. This one lets down Melissa McCarthy anyway.
I don't think it's her. I think tonally they didn't know where to go with the film, right? So
Yeah.
if they've gone for a dark noir film, fine. If they've gone for a comedy angle, fine.
Yeah.
Whatever the execution is, I think they didn't pick the right execution, because there's a whole sex scene in there which goes on too long, and then the end of it goes on even longer, and it's like, are you trying to make this funny, or is this a dark noir? What you just described there. So to me, I think they were going for the comedy angle, and I don't think the comedy worked in that. And that's what I mean with the film. Like, I don't think they knew what they were going for. And therefore, I, as a viewer, was confused because at the start of the film, you're laying the world. They've done a good job. Bright did a good job at laying the world. They're setting the various kind of social classes and the racism and stuff that goes around with that.
Yeah.
But then they never stick to it. They don't know what they wanted. I think they thought something was funny on that day, and they thought, oh, let's film this bit and try and make this bit funny. Like the octopus bit, you're saying that was maybe a laugh or a funny moment, but is this a gritty, dark noir film, or is this let's go outrageous and trying to push the boundaries and trying to show an octopus doing this thing?
It's kind of like if you had a film noir and they stepped into this sort of porn shot, and a guy would like see something in the background happening and kind of elicit, that's a thing you would see in maybe a movie like that, and then they just got a parody of that by having this ridiculous fact they've got an octopus. Obviously, an octopus has enough arms to stimulate a cow, and it's not even a sex scene because it's literally just milking a cow, and I just think that's hilarious. I love that. But I think you're right. It's the tonal discourse. I think they were going for the right thing, but bringing in Melissa McCarthy, they didn't tell her what they were going for, so she tries to buzz it up a bit, give it a bit more energy than it needed. I think maybe even Melissa McCarthy might not have even been the right person for it, but she does do a good acting job as the film goes on. She does start to become a character worth investing in a little bit. But we're always going to disagree on this one, I think. So
I don't think, however you describe it, I think that they went for I think they tried and they failed with the comedy. Look, the bit that you talked about there, I didn't find the octopus bit funny. I didn't find the dog and the human in the other room funny, but they were going for a comedy angle. So this is before Melissa McCarthy even enters the film. And then you've got the bit with the the bunny as well, when he lays eggs. Like Easter Bunny. They went for a comedic angle for all of that stuff. And I think none of that worked for me.
Comedy. You were just expecting real Muppet comedy and joy.
No,
I
was
think.
just well when I watched Team America World Police,
You're
it
comparing it
just
to a
went in.
completely random
You know
thing.
what?
Like,
No, it's
you
not.
can't compare it to one particular
It's
film.
like
Like you
it's
thought it
this.
was going to be Team America.
Team America World Police is the Citizen Kane of Muppet films, right?
It's not
It's the
even
best.
Muppets in that one. It's like
They
it's the
are
puppet.
Muppets.
They're puppets in that one.
Puppets
That's
slash
completely
Muppets,
different
right?
things.
It's not. It's the same thing. Anyway, it was hilarious from the start. They went for a certain angle, they stuck with it, and it was funny.
But
These
was
guys.
Melissa McCarthy in that
It doesn't
movie?
matter if she was
What are
or
you
she
talking
wasn't.
about it? You're just coming out with these things, trying to defend your angle on Happytime Murders.
Happytime Murders is avoid at all costs. It's not worth it.
Okay, so let's move on. There's 2 more movies on the list of McCarthy things that have been
Yes.
released. One of them
Yep.
hasn't been released in the UK yet, and one of them has. So, do you know
Oh.
these 2 as a Melissa McCarthy fan? Do you know which of these 2 movies are? Which is the next?
I'll know when you tell me the name, I think.
Okay, so the next one up is Can You Ever Forgive Me, which has been released. It was released
That's right,
last
Richard
year.
E. Grant. She got
Yep.
nominated for an Academy Award for that one.
I did
and
see the
Golden
trailer
Globe.
for this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good film. It's really well acted. She plays a completely different character. I never
It's
thought
serious in this one. Yeah.
I never thought this film was going to be hilarious, dark comedy, or a true noir, gritty thriller, crime, buddy comedy of some sort. This was just a good film. Her and Richard E. Grant are really good in this. Really good.
Okay.
Very, very good. Cinema. Watch it in cinema.
Okay. So I guess we're rounding this up pretty quickly then. So the last one is The Kitchen, which is out in America already.
Yes.
And other
I've
places.
seen the trailer for this, yeah.
Okay. Are you looking forward to this one?
I think I saw the trailer and I didn't really find it that funny. I don't know what it is. It looks like a documentary / mockumentary style film, a bit like Best in Show, so I'm not sure.
So what's it about? Do you know?
She's a contestant in like a cooking show, I think. So it's like they're all kind of doing some cook. It's a film that was made quite a few years back, I think, and then got shelved for whatever reason, and now it's coming out. Yeah, I don't know. I think if I see the trailer again, I'll have to make another decision if I want to watch it, because I do like Melissa McCarthy, and this is kind of like her vehicle where it'll be more of a. Well, if it's like a mockumentary, I'll watch it because I love mockumentaries. But if it's more of a kind of a serious film, then I don't think they've got the tone right. So yeah, I'll have to.
Like, you have to see how you go with it.
Yeah,
and it looks okay. It doesn't look like comedy to me, so it's really whether I feel like watching it or not. It's about 3 gangster wives who their gangster husbands are in prison.
Oh no, I know which one you mean now.
This is her with
Leslie Jones is in this as well. This is based on a DC comic.
Okay.
So this got released in So now I thought you meant another film. And you're right. This actually looks quite good now that I know which one it is. It hasn't done that well though in the US box office. It's not. Right. So we might not get a cinematic release. This might go straight to VOD for us.
We're expecting it on the 20th of September, so
I might get a limited release.
I may well get in there. But yes, you're right. If it's not in there for like a week or 2, I might miss it. So. But yeah, it's obviously serious, a bit more serious.
Yes.
Tiffany Haddish, Elizabeth Moss, and of course Melissa McCarthy. Jones. And they have to start running the underworld for their husbands in their husbands' stead, because they try to get normal jobs, but the world kind of mistreats them because they're women. So it's a bit of a girl power movie. Girl criminal power movie. So that's Melissa McCarthy. I think there's a few things possibly coming up. Super Intelligence is apparently completed.
Yes, that's with her husband. So there's a guy who stars in a lot of these movies, and he's got a very small role in all of them, and you'll notice it once you see him again. especially in Happytime Murders. You know when she's leaving the force and she says, "I would do you" to this guy at the very end of the row, and he gets out and he goes, "Oh, marry me" or something. He's her husband in real life, and this is his directorial debut.
Excellent. Okay, so we're looking forward to that when it comes out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is it due this year?
I think so. Well, he says
see.
It's finished or it's in post-production.
Yeah.
Or something,
So by 2019.
Or maybe next year.
Yeah, we'll see when it comes out. Yeah. The other thing is the Starling that she's supposedly in.
Okay.
As Lily Manyard. And also she's rumoured to be in A Little Mermaid, but I don't know, as Ursula. But there's been a couple of Little Mermaids floating around that seem to be... There's a bit of uncertainty what's actually coming up ahead for that one.
Yeah, they've not really nailed all the star cast down just yet. I think the main female lead has been cast, and I think they're looking for the Prince Eric now.
Because Chloe Grace Moretz was supposed to be in one of them, but I think there were at least two at some point floating around, and obviously maybe one got canned, and they're going with the one with Skylar Gisondo. Yeah. So, oh no, wait, that's the Skylar Gisondo is the Starling, isn't it actually? So yeah, I don't know who's do you know who's decided for Little Mermaid then?
Oh, so there's a female lead who I almost called Halle Berry, but her name's not Halle Berry; it's something else. And she's playing Ariel. Yeah. Maybe.
Got some controversy, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean,
people being racist.
Yes, always. I think just let the film happen, and then judge the film by itself. Except if it's The Lion King, which was really bad because it was a shot-for-shot, almost shot-for-shot remake. If you've seen the original, it was fine. Yeah, it was fine. There was no point making it. That's what I mean.
It's all to do with how you handle Disney movies at the moment, really, isn't it? The remakes.
Yeah, it's too many of them.
Right, so that was Melissa McCarthy. We've gone through her whole life pretty thoroughly, just to see if we know any of them. We knew a few, and we've talked about them. You're a big fan of Melissa McCarthy.
Definitely, yeah.
Most things I've seen, she's been good in, apart from the one that, obviously the most recent one, Happytime Murders, where you've literally murdered the whole movie.
It's because the film is bad.
I've just murdered her ad hoc, which didn't work. So, but yeah, she's been great in a lot of other movies, and I look forward to seeing more movies with her. So that you've highlighted today. So, any top three that you'd recommend?
Spy would definitely. If you're looking for a film where she's the lead, Spy.
Yeah. Spy, yeah, okay. Yeah. That's the top.
I'd say Heat as well. That's really funny as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
yet. I think Bridesmaids is a good film, but she's not the lead in that. So, as much as I want to say Bridesmaids, I would have to say if we're going for leads again, Identity Thief.
Identity Thief.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Talking about Melissa McCarthy vehicles, the ones that she's kind of front and center, and I'd pick those three.
Yeah, let's say joint third, Bridesmaid and Identity Thief. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just because she's not. It's a really good film. It's very funny, but it's just she's not the lead. I guess if you're looking at a good film, Bridesmaids would be definitely that. But if you're looking for Melissa McCarthy specific films, they would be the top three.
You can look out for her in that. So
yeah, she's good in that.
There's a spot. Excellent. Okay, so that was Melissa McCarthy. Next segment. Things we have been doing this week.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, what have you been up to this week?
Quick reviews. So I watched a documentary which is currently on Netflix about I don't want to call him a rapper because he's not a rapper. A hip hop star called Travis Scott.
Okay.
And it's I think it's called "See Mom How I Can Fly" or something along those lines. I've never listened to many Travis Scott tracks. I listened to Zeke. That's the first one I heard of Travis Scott, and he's a featured artist. It's not my. I think music it's for everyone, and everyone can enjoy it, and it evolves. His music may not be my taste, but some of his beat selection is great. Some of his hooks are really good. I don't know about his rapping because he manipulates his voice and stuff. But yeah, so that might not be for me. I listened to Sicko Mode because of this documentary. That's his big #1 hit single. But I do like him as a person. He's great. Like, they show you him on stage, and he's really good. Like, he brings a lot of energy. His stage shows, he's got like a big roller coaster. He's got all sorts of. He brings and he entertains, and I think that's great. You know, if you don't like his music, fine. But those things he does bring to the table, and he does really well. The only thing I didn't like about the documentary, I would have loved to have seen more kind of like his growing up, how he came into the game, how he, you know, released his first mixtapes, how he got his first record deal. They've concentrated more on his last album, Astroworld, and the singles that spin off that, and it's almost more about his kind of the release of that, his Grammy nominations, his tour. But I would have liked to see a bit more, because I don't know anything about Travis Scott. But also, I really appreciate that he did this thing for his home city, went back and put on a big, massive show. And because of that, they were closing down a theme park called Astroworld because of what he did, his album and all the work around that and doing these shows. They actually said, okay, look, we will reopen Astroworld because of him. They gave him the key to the city. I think, you know, those are the things that I thought, wow, I really like this guy. I've never heard of him, never seen him before, but your concerts are amazing. You know, the things you're doing for your community is good. But just maybe, you know, it'll take me a bit of time to like his music. He's not a rapper like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole. He's not a traditional rapper. He's what they call a trap artist. So he sings. I don't think he's mumble rapping, but I think I need to listen more to him.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It's fascinating. But I would have liked to see more of kind of his build up. There's another show on Netflix called, I think it's called Rapture, and he's got Logic. Logic is amazing. I've never heard of him before, but I watched that. Listened to 1-800, one of my favorite songs, and he's really good. They do a bit more like about where he came from, his upbringing, his albums, and signing deals, and that's what I thought I would kind of see. But yeah, it's still good. It's on streaming, so based on my rating, watch it on a streaming service.
Watch it. Okay. So it's good, but it's 2-star good.
Yes, and I then watched Dave Chappelle's comedy. So Dave Chappelle recently came under some criticism because of a joke he told in this stand-up about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So years ago,
I love a comedian with some controversy.
So years ago, he had something called the Chappelle Show, and in there he did a really funny sketch about Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. It was really, really funny. And in there, he basically says, you know, I'd never let my kids near Michael Jackson. But in this, he turns around and he spins it the other way, and he says, oh, I don't think he did anything. And obviously I'm paraphrasing, I'm not delivering it the way he did. But it's more for comic timing, and he's talking about like the things he may have done, and you know how the kids would have gone back to school and said, yeah, Michael Jackson blow me or whatever it was. It's the problem is because the documentary's just come out, and obviously Michael's not around to kind of like be accused of all of this, and then he's gone on the record to say one thing. And as a comedian, the reason why you do these things is so you get that laugh and you get that people talking about you. I think
it's a very easy thing to joke at because people know some of the background, so they can find it funny. So it's not really going to be necessarily your absolute opinion, is it?
Yeah, I mean, the stand-up as a whole was good. It wasn't the best Dave Chappelle stuff, but I watched it more because of the controversy, and I love Dave Chappelle generally. But
I love Michael Jackson.
This is the thing. Like,
I love comedy that digs at all that stuff as well.
Exactly, because I think what happened. I mean, you know, if you take away Michael Jackson, take away all that stuff, and you just say there's a grown man who lives at the end of my road, and he wants kids to go over to his house and sleep with him in the same bedroom. You know, there's alarm bells, right? Regardless of it being Michael Jackson, nothing happening, all of that, right? There's got to be alarm bells, basic, right? Yeah. Anyway, so he tells these jokes and stuff, and I think it's just a case of Dave Chappelle saying something controversial for the sake of it. I don't think he said it in because he's got another stand-up where he said the opposite. So
I suppose it's just a difficult time to do a joke like that because obviously Michael's death. People are a little bit more sensitive now. Yeah,
it's 10 years. Yeah, and the documentary's come out as well.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because like when he was alive, people could joke about it all they liked, but now he's dead. It's kind of like people argue about what kind of legacy they want to keep of him, and they don't want that sort of bad side like remembered. They want the good side, and especially his family perhaps would like the best sides of Michael remembered. So yeah, makes it tricky.
Yeah, it's still a funny show. I just think he said it for the sake of it. I mean, if you watch Jimmy Carr, I mean, he doesn't talk about Michael Jackson, but he tells some funny jokes and some totally inappropriate jokes as well.
Yeah.
And I think comedians will push the boundaries to get laughs.
And I love that stuff, really do. I think if something's funny, say it. It doesn't matter as long as within that room people are on board with you and you're getting a laugh, then it's good comedy. And definitely if you look in afterwards and you take one little bit of comedy and you look at it and say, well, on its own that doesn't sound like a very funny joke, well then you're not really in the experience of the comedy and understand where it's coming from. So yeah, I love a bit of obscene or ridiculous comedy, as I would say.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr says this really funny joke about ISIS. It's very explosive.
Explosive.
Yes.
There we go. You did it.
I did it.
Now we have the controversy. They'll cut that out, and we'll be all over the news tomorrow. We'll get the fame we're looking for.
We did it. We finally did it.
We made it, Mum.
So what are your quick reviews?
Okay, so we talked about this last week. I have been this week at Fighting Fantasy.
Oh yes.
So yes, it's a great experience. What it is it's basically a convention, so like a Comic-Con, but it's focused very much on the Fighting Fantasy game books of the 80s.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of those and you remember the main two authors that sort of started it all off, Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone, or if you're more into it and you know sort of all the other artists and authors that got involved, so Jonathan Green is quite a big one. Jamie Thompson's always there that I've seen, and artists Malcolm Barter, Tony Hoff, Alan Langford. These guys are staples of the show, of the weekend. Then you're going to love it. It tries to stack a lot of things in, so you've basically got 3 columns of activities going on all the time. So you've got one for signing, so you can go meet your heroes, get them to sign stuff, get a bit of personal time. I'd say pretty much all are very talkative and friendly, and it's just nice to have a chat with them, really. Even Steve Jackson and Livingston, they'll have a big event which will be really busy for signing, but even they will try to sort of mingle around during the convention, and also they do talks as well.
Yeah.
And they try to like talk to you as well as they're trying to deal with a massive queue, because it is a huge queue for that one, the major one. But at the same time, they do talks in another column at the same time, so you have to sort of match it up which things you want to prioritize.
Yeah.
And also some sort of show things as well. So you'll get the artists talking about stuff, but also there's a thing called the Dark Room, which they did a show of this time, which if you haven't heard of, I'd definitely recommend. It was really funny. It's based on as a parody of old computer RPG sort of games where you type in your instructions, and it's just a parody of that, and with a guy who's just really enthusiastic and funny and dark at the same time. And forces the audience to make the decisions, and then it's kind of ridicules you. So, in the way that you kind of get frustrated at those sort of things in the past. They also did a live version of House of Hell, which is one of the game books, game book number 10 of the original series. I didn't get to see that one, but apparently it's very good. Also in the convention, you get lots of sellers, and also people can bring their stuff for a charity auction where 10% of the income from it goes to charity, and you can pick up stuff cheap for your collection, which is nice. It's still good. And that's just one day of it. There's also a Bureau thing, which is You Are the Bureau, which is a spin on You Are the Hero, is something that a fan set up and does fairly regularly, where people just go to London and some other parts of the country, and have a beer together, which is really nice camaraderie for people that are fans of it. But they also did, for this event, they do one of those with a quiz run by Jonathan Green, the author, or someone, or he's there organising it, and someone else helps out with the quiz. Either way, and also Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone have turned up to a couple of them, so have done their own quiz rounds. So it's just amazing in that close proximity to heroes, and that's great. So so I highly recommend it for people that are into, but you have to be kind of into the that sort of thing, I guess. You have to be quite a fan to spend £35-ish, something like that, for a ticket. And then also, if you want to stay over at night in London, it's going to cost you more. If you want to buy some of the special merchandise that's there, travel from where you're coming from in the country or the world can cost you more. And actually, there's a huge amount of people. There's people from all over the world, basically, as well, that have come all the way to this convention. A great guy called Lin Liren, who is all the way from Taiwan. I'll just mention him because he's a light, a shining beacon of positivity, and he comes all the way from Taiwan. He's got a strong Taiwan accent, but he's just such a funny guy. Does great impressions and things. He's a joy to see, and everyone really are a joy to see. The fans that you kind of meet on Facebook groups and Instagram and Twitter groups and things, and they're all just such lovely people coming together for like one thing. Yeah.
Sounds like a blast. I think next year what we'll do is when tickets and stuff come out, we'll just make announcements on the podcast. So if people are interested,
the people to get the message out more widely.
Yeah.
To our subscriber
base. Yes, we will. I think it's a good idea. I think it sounds like a really good, and it's. I mean, for us being in the UK, shout out UK. It's local as well. But who knows? After Brexit in October, we might not be able to do that next year.
Yeah, true. I mean, Europe might have more trouble getting here for sure.
Yeah, the whole world will have trouble.
Yeah, we're going to build up walls around the whole country there.
Yeah, that's right.
But a massive dome over the UK, never come out again.
It's like the Simpsons film.
Yeah, I mean that would be quite an interesting experiment. At least wouldn't recommend it, but if they really want things back the way they were, and they think it was so much better in the old days, I guess they can turn everything into villages with this massive dome, and we get rid of all our phones and internet, and we just live in the mud, living off pigs. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, you went really dark and political there, for sure.
I forgot. I don't
for a
really
pop culture podcast, yeah. Wow.
We try to avoid politics. Obviously, people have their different opinions, and that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone's opinion is valid.
Exactly. So, what other things? Anything else?
That's
I know
it,
you
really.
Had a busy weekend, yeah.
I have had, that was basically my whole weekend in the end. I did go on a coach to Belgium yesterday for just a day trip.
Nice.
It's all right if you want to get booze and cigarettes, duty free. But apart from that, it wasn't that big a deal. But it's nice and quick. I can recommend the Euro train that went from Dover to Calais was only half an hour. It was very quick.
Wow.
I can say that.
Yeah, that's really
good. It felt. Whereas the couple of times I've been on the ferries are slower, but that's a better experience. So I think if you want to have an experience, but if you want to go quickly, the train's quite cool. Yeah. What's coming up for you?
Brilliant. So preview. So PlayStation announced their games, which just got released Tuesday.
Okay.
So Batman's on there. So that's what I'm going to be playing.
Okay. Excellent. Is there anything else announced, or do you not?
Because they always do 2 games, and I can't remember what the other one was. And the other one did look like something I'd play, but the first one was Batman. I was like, I'll play Batman.
Batman is so that's your preview, something you're looking forward to.
That's
excellent.
And maybe Chapter 2. I think that's coming out soon.
Okay.
Either this weekend or next weekend.
Yes, I will be watching that. That's something to look forward to then, because I'm not sure what was coming up. So, apart from the kitchen, obviously, I know. So, yeah, for me, It Part 2. I watched the Part 1 of the remake, and
it was fine.
And it's pretty good. I thought it
wasn't scary.
No, but it certainly looks better than the originals.
Yeah, I mean, the TV movie back in the day to a big cinematic $100 million film. I mean, it's worlds apart, right? But yes.
Yeah, exactly. And the second part of the original as well was maybe even weaker. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they manage to pull this off. Yeah, see if they grow up. Yeah, if they don't, I'll be shocked because I've seen quite a few trailers so far, and it looks like they've grown up.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it really.
So coming to the end of the podcast, how do they contact us?
They can contact us via lots of methods. Check out the description. We are on Twitter and Instagram and all sorts of things. So we'd love to hear from you what your topic ideas are, how you think we're doing as well. Please give us a like and 5-star reviews if you managed to listen to the end, because you must have enjoyed it, I guess. So
yeah, if you're still around, you must have done. Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us all this way.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Our email address is myguyReviews@gmail.com. Twitter handle is myguy_reviews at Twitter. Our Instagram is myguyReviews. We have 1 follower on Instagram. So
excellent.
We did it. We've only posted once. We've only done 1 post. I think we need to get on the social medias.
Yes,
definitely. But we'll start interacting more. Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for joining me, my guest.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.